Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about Kringle Candle, Juniper, and Laurel. Now, funny enough, you guys, this is a fragrance that has been on my radar for quite some time. I know that a lot of my fellow content creators here on YouTube, as well as over on Instagram, and a lot of you who are active participants in the Kringle Facebook group, a lot of people have raved for years about this fragrance. And I remembered purchasing it in a daylight a couple of years ago and I liked it. But I think at that time, I think by the time I got it, it was like after Christmas or something like that. And it just was always a fragrance that kind of got like lost in the shuffle. Or by the time, the next holiday season came around, I already felt kind of overwhelmed or like I had enough tree fragrances. And so I just never purchased it. However, a couple of weeks ago, I would say maybe about a month ago now, who knows, you guys, the time all seems to, it just seems to kind of meld together. Here's your reminder, you guys. Thanksgiving is 2 weeks from today. Just letting you know in case you haven't checked your calendar, but we got 2 weeks till Thanksgiving here in the United States. But anyways, time is all flying by. That's what I meant to say. But on one of my most recent Kringle orders, they offered this vessel, which is the large 2-wick vessel. This does retail for $31. They offered this as one of the, you can use your Kringle rewards points to redeem for either free product, or you can get like free shipping or dollars off of your purchase. So I elected to go ahead and redeem some of my points for this candle. And you guys, I am not mad that I did. So let's go ahead and talk about this one. Like I said, this format that I am reviewing is their large 2-wick. This is a 100% soy wax formula. This fragrance is also available in the large, like the extra large 4-wick vessel. That is 32 ounces of 100% soy wax. I think that retails for $45. And then I believe that this is also available in the daylights and wax melts. So this specific candle that I am reviewing has a pour date of March 26th, 2025. Fragrance notes listed on this candle are top notes of laurel leaves, eucalyptus, mid notes, white juniper, jasmine, silver spruce, base note, patchouli, cedar, and pinecone. All right, you guys, I'm just going to say that once I got this candle into my hands, again, like I said, been a couple of years and I had it in a daylight before. I think my preferences have changed a little bit too since then. I'm going to tell you guys, I get what the hype is about this fragrance. First and foremost, before we really get into the fragrance, let's talk about the packaging here. This is just stunning. This is totally my vibe, my aesthetic, what I like for my home for the holidays. Personally, I actually go a little bit more like 90s Christmas route, but I feel like this just fits right in. This is the type of wreath that I like to display, on the front door. It's just absolutely beautiful. And just going on a slight tangent here, I think that I've been a little bit spoiled and therefore I've gotten very accustomed to the packaging that Kringle has offered. I've realized recently, and I'll talk about this in Candle Chat this weekend, which I was supposed to do last weekend, you guys, and it was just a crazy busy weekend. I'll talk about that again in another video. But, one of the things I realized is that I think in purchasing some candles from Yankee recently, I've just realized how much I actually do appreciate nice packaging. Not a shade to any other brands, but I just feel like Kringle does such a beautiful job with a lot of their labels. It looks like there's really they really put a lot of thought into it, it looks like. And so, yeah, I really, really appreciate the label on this one. It's absolutely stunning. Now, the fragrance. Again, I get the hype on this one. My nose definitely picks up. This is a tree fragrance. This is an elevated tree fragrance to my nose. This is not as woody as their Snow-Capped Fraser. That is definitely more of like a woody tree scent. This one is maybe, I would say, I don't want to say not as nostalgic, but I will say my favorite Christmas fragrance still from Kringle is their Christmas scent, the one that's just labeled Christmas. It's their #1 seller. That is still my #1 like tree holiday fragrance from Kringle. But this is up there, you guys. I actually really like this. This is definitely more if you are somebody who wants something that's got a little bit of maybe some spruce, maybe, again, there is juniper in here, which juniper is kind of nostalgic for me because of the area that I grew up in Southern California. We had a lot of juniper trees. But in the base note there, I do pick up on some of that cedar and pine cone. But again, it's not as woodsy as snow-capped Fraser. It's really not even as woodsy as their Christmas scent. Christmas to me is definitely more of like a fir, and it's got the woody elements to it. There's a warmth to it. This fragrance to me is a little bit more neutral in terms of it being like a quote unquote warm or cold tree scent. If you're newer to my channel, the way that I try to describe like the difference between a warm or like a cool or a neutral tree scent, warm tree scents to me remind me of a Christmas tree, and there's, maybe it's placed hearthside, you're inside of a home, it's warm, it's cozy, it's inviting. There are certain tree fragrances that remind me of being like a straight up Christmas tree. Those fragrances also tend to have a little bit more woody elements to it. Whereas like cold tree scents to me remind me of like being out in a forest. I get more pine needle than I do get wood. I also usually tend to have like more of like an ozonic experience. Like there's more ozone. There's something that makes it seem like the air is like cold and crisp around it. Fragrances that fall into that cool tree fragrance for me are like, say, Homeworks' Frozen Balsam. That falls more into like a cool tree note. This to me though is neutral because it doesn't really remind me of a straight up Christmas tree. Like, it doesn't give me like warm, cozy vibes, but it also doesn't remind me of being out in a forest. But it does remind me of a tree. Like, I mean, it is a tree fragrance. I do think those top notes of laurel leaves and eucalyptus, this is not straight up like spa eucalyptus. That's not what I'm detecting here. I think the laurel leaves and the eucalyptus add a little element of sophistication to this fragrance. Again, same that jasmine note in the middle. It's not overly floral. This is not a very floral fragrance. This to me, you guys, is kind of like fancy lady Christmas tree. I guess that's the way that I would describe it. It's just a beautiful scent. It's definitely one that I see myself wanting, moving forward every holiday season. And truthfully, I've actually really enjoyed burning this fragrance right now, here in the month of November. I could actually see myself possibly burning this a little bit more after the holidays. But truthfully, this one, while it's not, like I said, while it's not distinctly Christmas tree to my nose, it's a beautiful tree scent. But there is something about it that I'm not sure that I would love this as much after the holidays. It's kind of in that category, truthfully, mentally for me, as their new Christmas tree farm. That one is definitely more of like I feel like that's like spruce tree mixed with some, there's a little bit of like an orange note in that. And so for me, I feel like those are that scent and this one are tree scents that I am really enjoying heading into the holiday season, and I can still enjoy them during Christmas, but afterwards I might not want them as much as, say, like I said, like Homeworks' Frozen Balsam is a scent that I can enjoy more so in the month of January. KRINGLE's Winter Wonder is something that I enjoy a little bit more in January because it's a little bit more like cold. So anyways, I took a long time to describe that fragrance, you guys, but it's a really, really nice scent. Now let's go ahead and talk about the performance. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it around here. You see I've got nice performance in terms of the wicks, good clean wax pool going on there. Tiny little bit, I would say a tiny little bit of sooting around here. It's not bad. I have had this candle burning now for, goodness, probably about 5 hours now. So I am planning to extinguish it after I film this review. Now here's the knock that I am going to give on this one. I feel like strength and throw on this candle is about a 6, 6.5. This fragrance performs better for me in the closed concept areas of my home. So when I do repurchase this candle, it will be in the 4-wick format, because for me personally, that's just what format seems to perform best for me in my open concept areas in my home with KRINGLE. Now, if you have more closed concept, if you have a smaller space, then I feel like this one's going to perform well for you. Or maybe you're just wanting to burn this as kind of like an accompanying fragrance to something else that might be an anchor scent in your open concept areas. But again, in a closed concept space, this performs quite nicely. I have started burning quite a few of my candles in hurricanes. But yeah, this one was kind of interesting because I was burning it out in my open concept the other night. I actually left to go to Bible study and my family was all still home. And it's funny because I felt like I went a little bit nose blind to it prior to leaving. But then when I came home, I definitely smelled it walking through the door. So again, for that reason, I think I'm going to, like, at the most, I could give this a throw of about a 7 because it was pretty noticeable out there in the room that I was burning it, which was the living room, which is right behind us here. But like where I'm sitting out here in the kitchen, when I've burned this in the living room, I don't really smell it all the way over here. So again, when I repurchase this fragrance, it will be in the 4-wick format because this scent is very, very nice. The best way, again, that I could describe it is elevated, sophisticated tree scent, fancy lady type of tree scent. It's not perfumey. Don't worry about that patchouli note in the base. I don't pick up any kind of like earthy, dirty hippie type of, or even really overtly perfuminess in this candle. It's very, very beautiful. If you're hesitant about it, I would pick it up in a daylight in your next order. But we all know probably within the next couple of weeks here, we're going to be heading into some Black Friday sales. I don't have an idea of what those are going to be. Kringle never really leaks to us like when their sales are going to be or what price points. We as ambassadors kind of find out about the sales with everybody else. But I just anticipate with, sales cycles here in the United States, everybody's gearing up for those Black Friday profits, and pretty sure that we'll be seeing a lot of sales. So I would highly recommend adding this one to your list. Really, really great performance, and I absolutely love it. If you are wanting to purchase this candle or any other full-priced items before they can go on sale, or if you're just wanting to save a little bit of money on your route protection, I do have an affiliate discount code with Kringle. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% off of any items that are full-priced or your route protection with the brand. So that is eligible for a commission, so please only use that if you are comfortable doing so. But let me know in the comment section down below, is this one of your holy grail Christmas fragrances? Again, the reason why I purchased it is because I heard so much positive feedback from not only, again, my fellow content creators, but a lot of you have mentioned how much you guys have enjoyed this one. So thank you all of you for influencing me to purchase this candle. I do not regret it. You all were right about what a beautiful scent this is. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.